Public Enemy, the greatest tag team to ever get beat to death by the Acolytes. Now, Public Enemy was an popular ECW tag team in the mid-90s. And then they jumped ship to WCW, where they held the WCW Championship one time. And then WCW got tired of their shit, and they went back to ECW, where the Dudley Boys beat the crap out of them. Now let me explain some things about Public Enemy. And the reason I say WCW got tired of their shit. They've done a lot of shit. Public Enemy was never the greatest wrestlers. They tended to work sloppy, and they tended to argue about finishes. Something no promoter wants. Because when he says this is the finish, that's the finish. He doesn't want you changing the finish. Public Enemy changed the finish often because they thought the finish needed changed. And that pissed a lot of people off. They also, as I said, they tended to work sloppy. And while people didn't really get hurt, they didn't get injured badly. They got bumps and bruises and stuff that they shouldn't have got. And so people didn't really want to work with them. At least not in WCW. Though they did get popular enough to win the WCW tag title one time. They were also offered a contract to WWF at the time when they went to WCW and turned it down. Now, of course, WCW was offering more money, but WWF was offering more of an opportunity. Because WCW at the time had a bunch of big names and WWF didn't. So, pick your poison here. Do you want a bigger opportunity or do you want more money? And the answer to them was, we want the money. But WCW kicked me to the curb after 2 years. In ECW, when they came back, they feuded with the Dudley Boys, who got tired of their crap quickly. Because they tended to change finishes, and they tended to work sloppy. The Dudley Boys at one point just beat the crap out of them in the ring. Because the Dudley Boys were wimps. This was Devon and Bubba Ray, and they were never known for being wimps. They could take it as well as they could get it. They could take it as well as they could give it. And the Dudley Boys just beat the crap out of them in the ring one night. Which didn't make them happy. It made the Dudley Boys happy. It didn't make Public Enemy happy. So then Public Enemy signed with WWF in '99. And the Dudley Boys and their feud wasn't over yet. They were set to go onto a pay-per-view and have a match. Which didn't make Paul Heyman happy. So Paul Heyman showed footage of the Dudley Boys just beat the crap out of them. And so the Dudley Boys beat the crap out of them and ran them out of ECW. Now in WWF, they were not popular. And by I say not popular, I don't mean with the fans. I mean with the talent and the people backstage. As I said earlier, in '96, they're offered a contract with WWF, and they turned it down. And most of the WWF guys took the opportunity with WWF in '96, or around '96, or around '96, '97, and seen Public Enemy as guys who didn't really want to be in WWF. Not to mention the fact that they were working sloppy and they were changing finishes. So Public Enemy was really a jobber tag team at this point, but Vince decided to give them a chance on Sunday Night Heat. Now, this was before Sunday Night Heat was really a jobber program that featured pretty much the worst of the worst. This was when it mattered. Still, Stone Cold would be on Sunday Night Heat sometimes. The Rock, Mankind, big names would sometimes be on Sunday Night Heat. And on this Sunday Night Heat, it was Public Enemy versus the Acolytes in the first ever tables match in WWE history. And Public Enemy told the Acolytes, we're not doing the finish. And the finish was Public Enemy going through a table. Now, I don't know how you have a tables match without someone going through a table, but we were about to find out. Until Ron Simmons turned over to Bradshaw and said, we're doing the finish. Now, Ron Simmons is a tough guy. Bradshaw is a tough guy. And if they say it's happening, whether you like it or not. So, they go out there, and Public Enemy's kind of like not really wanting to fight them. So, Farouk and Bradshaw just beat the tar out of them. They give them stiff shots. They give them stiff chair shots. They just pretty much beat the crap out of them for 4 minutes until they put one of them through a table, and then they continue to beat the crap out of them. Until eventually the ref calls for the bell, and then Farouk and Bradshaw go to the back. Was it a good match? No, it was pretty much two people getting the crap beat out of them. Did it have a finish? I'm not sure what the finish was. I don't think anybody knows what the finish was. And so technically, Public Enemy didn't take the finish. I mean, one of them went through a table, but they didn't lose. I think it was end up being a no contest. So Farouk and Bradshaw go to the back, and they're waiting there, ready to fight Public Enemy as they come back. They think Public Enemy's going to fight them. Public Enemy comes to the back, shakes their hand, and goes, thanks for the match, and goes to the dressing room. Farouk and Bradshaw don't get punished at all. It's just all under the rug. Or over the river, or over the dam, or through the dike, whatever the saying is. And Public Enemy is released 2 weeks later. And that is pretty much why Public Enemy got the crap beat out of them in WWF and in ECW. And, well, the moral of this story is, don't fuck with Farouk and Bradshaw. Or the Dudleys. Well, join me later this week when we look at Christmas Carol from 1951. It was on Tubi. It is no longer on Tubi. I had to buy it on Prime, which kind of ticked me off a little bit. But it is a really good version. It tells more of Scrooge's backstory. That's why I picked this version. And next week, for a wrestling show, I don't know what we're doing yet. I have several ideas, but I don't quite want to go back into Divas territory when I just did Divas like a week ago. So, kind of floating ideas. See you then.